Sure. In bits and pieces, but it always comes together.
Good evening, Street Soldiers. Good evening. It's Alive and Free, Street Soldiers Radio, one more time. Oh man, Palm Sunday, you got me like down. Palm Sunday, the Lady E's gonna be
Okay.
through the. Oh, all right, all right, all right. Thank you for giving me a date certain. And
Well, I mean, because I think Mike said that he was going to be preparing something
oh,
whenever I
what's the
get
first?
it. Would you look at that look on his face?
What
What?
I'm cooking some food?
Yes.
All right, cool.
That's what
Yeah.
you said.
That's what I said. Okay. We'll make it
That's
happen.
what you
I love
said.
to cook. Give me an excuse to cook, I'm a cook.
Oh,
Okay. I'm looking forward.
Yeah. Gotta remember though now. I gotta put it in my calendar.
Put his number in the chat.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Before we get to that Sunday, let's do tonight's show.
This Sunday. That's right.
Tonight.
Okay.
And as always, glad to be here with you, everybody. Glad for you to be here with us. I'm still riding high. You know, when we say alive and free around the world, well, I'm still riding high on that call from Jamaica last week. It's just wonderful, and I hope she's listening again. See, she can certainly call one more time. And I love that film won't make shamelessly got a plug out of her while she was here.
I
Never
I
met
I, I don't.
You gotta take advantage. What? I got people listening in Jamaica, bruh. Boop, boop.
Doc, I'm gonna tell you what I need.
What's that?
Some of that curry goat, some of that oxtail,
Oh man. Some of the best food you ever tasted
some
is
of that
in
rice and peas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike, let's say it like you're not gonna miss an opportunity.
Yeah.
No, I will
No,
not.
that's
No.
right. Not taking advantage, because like, no. You're not gonna miss, you're gonna be aware and prepared for
Yeah.
every opportunity. Not gonna miss nary a one.
Yep.
Like that.
Joe, take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was the voice of Lady E, the voice of the soul, the voice of Anne, and the voice, of course, of Fillmore Mike as we open tonight's show. Lady, I think you've already promoted us on your
My upcoming arrival.
yeah, your upcoming event. So let's go to Soul. What's up with you, man? How you doing?
Hey, just happy to break the news. We got some Oscar winners in the Bay Area.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. At least a couple. I think it's still going on, but Ryan got one, and Mr. Kugler, I should say, and Mr. B. Jordan are now Oscar winners. So that's pretty cool.
The film Sinners was nominated for a record 16, 16 nominations. And it turns out, so I got it, the latest winning four. And for your best original score, cinematography, original screenplay, Ryan Coogler, and of course, Michael B. Jordan, best actor for playing twins. So I guess that's what Oscar can be split in half. That's great, man. That's really, 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 really wonderful. Yeah, I wanted, of course, Delroy. I miss Delroy, but
Oh yeah, we was all sad about that, but hey, Delroy's great, regardless.
but, uh, that's not bad. That's a quarter of the Oscars? That's not bad. 25%, 4 out of 16. Okay, wish they won 8, but and what's that film that won? And the one that you saw that you said you didn't?
oh, it was a little while. I don't know. It's the Leonardo DiCaprio one.
Yeah. It won for Best Picture, and that's what
I
I
had a feeling that was gonna win. That movie's a trip.
Yeah,
That's what she said. Did you see
It
it?
is. Great acting in it. Great cast in it. I watched it just because I knew it would be up against Sinners, so I wanted to see. And yeah, I need to watch it again. That's all I gotta say.
One
That,
battle
that's
after
a
another.
two-time.
One after another. Yeah. Yeah.
It was that. It was one after another.
Well,
Yeah, Sinners. Sinners should be the winner. That was beautiful, fantastic.
and you guys know I had the running joke is I have not yet seen Sinners, right? And now, I
haven't
know,
seen it.
I know. Everybody looks to me just like you did, just like you did. What you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of them guys that ain't got. I got regular TV.
Yeah.
You know, and it's on Apple, and you know, the soul wants me to watch this and watch that. But I got to figure out how to do it. Ann says
I got you.
she's gonna hook me up on
I
my
get your
iPad, right? Yeah, well,
Malcolm, I'm trying.
trying, but yeah, I'm. But now I'm.
Almost
But
there.
I'm gonna tell you, I read so much about it. I think I know the movie backwards, forwards, inside and out. So I know I'm going. See, at first I didn't. You know why I didn't see it at first? I don't like vampires. You know, I
love
don't. I really
vampires.
don't. I mean, all the way back to
That's my favorite.
Bela Lugosi, I ain't like vampires, right? I didn't like them in Twilight. You know, I ain't none of vampires. But now I'm ready. I'm ready. So, and congratulations to Lady Esau, right?
Yes, I did. I saw it.
You saw it in the daytime, though, right?
It was high noon because it took me the rest of the night and the following 3 days to
Right.
recover from that movie. Okay. And then all of the memes, all the little stuff that showed up on Facebook, yes, when people would come to the door and say, "Can I come in?"
You like, no, do not cross that line, huh?
That's right.
Oh.
You are not invited.
Mhm.
Anyway, no.
All right. I will see it. I will see it. And I will be out. That's an issue you haven't scratched yet or something like that. One of the things, right? I did see on the plane coming back. I was gone. I was in Mexico at a conference, and I finally saw Highest to Lowest. But I hadn't seen because I watch Denzel anything, just on TV, just interviews, right? But the plane landed before the last 10 movies. So now I gotta go. He's chasing it, right? And I don't know what happened. And the soul swear he wouldn't tell me. So you gotta bring that just so I can see.
How they gonna end the movie? How they gonna like land the plane before the movie's over? What kind of
But we
timing
don't
is
want
that?
to circle though. I would rather land than circle. Okay, you know, I don't want to circle 10 minutes of watching a movie to finish
No,
watching.
start the movie on time. Come on now.
Right. Yeah. What you got, Ann?
Make sure that what you can see is Street Soldiers Radio live on YouTube. Right now, you can see all of the beautiful faces. We got Lady Estelle, the Soul, and I got Sabrina Robertson over there. You can see Fillmore Mikes and Dr. Marshall. So I'm behind the camera, so you don't get to see me, but I will make sure that any chats that you share will get voiced over the airwaves.
Let's get
Stay
into
live
the
and free.
into the show. One news item that the soul sent over. Ex-inmate buys abandoned prison to build a place for second chances. All right. Former inmate Kerwin Pittman is making history. The activist and social justice advocate became the first formerly incarcerated person in U.S. history to purchase a prison, which he plans to turn into a transitional housing and workforce development facility called the Recidivism Reduction Campus. That's pretty cool, right? The prison had sat for more than a decade before Pittman published the 19-acre campus. He now plans to transform the former prison, and I'll tell you what he's going to do with it. All right. The campus will house between 200 and 250 men at a time for 6-month stays. During that period, residents will receive support designed to help them successfully reintegrate into society, including civic engineering, engagement training, life skills and leadership development, a whole bunch of other things. Nice job, brother. Nice job. Nice job. Good people doing good things. Maybe we can get him on. That's how, we do I like doing those shows because people doing good things. Good for him. Good for him. Good for him. All right.
You know how you always, when you imagine that you rich, one day I'm gonna buy this place. I'm gonna fire that dude, something like that. And well, that brother is living that dream, huh? He's like, when I get out one day, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. He bought it.
He bought it. All right, we got a guest who's been here before, who is, I'm putting it all in her hands, who is gonna help us with a very, 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 very difficult issue, which she has done before, and she does that as part of her daily life. Let me just say, first of all, great show last Sunday. Extraordinary women that callers called in about. We gave them all a copy of Lady E's book. My unspoken
Spoken heart.
heart. That's right, my unspoken heart. So they're floating around in the mail somewhere, and I got a big bill, but that's okay. But today, as in our second show of Women's History Month, we're going to deal with a topic we had done in the past. We're going to talk about domestic violence. We're going to talk about domestic violence, interpersonal violence, whatever you want to call it. Tough topic. And if you ask me why we do this show again and again and again, and I could do it literally every week, is because it's a tough problem to do something about. So joining us once again is the one and, see, I was gonna say, Miss Sabrina Robertson. Thank you one more time.
Thank you for having me. Good evening. Hi, Lady Estelle.
Hey there, how are you? How fitting it is during this Women's History Month to have you here. And I heard him say he's gonna turn it over to you. How fitting for a woman to take charge
I am.
in this very difficult topic, because as women so capably can do is bring in the humanity, the care, the concern, the love, and all those things, and the strength and courage and power to handle and manage and go through and make it to the other side of this very challenging, difficult experience. So thank you.
You put it on you, did she?
She did. She did. And you know what I thought about? One, I'm extremely excited to be here with you all. We should do a show where we celebrate survivors. Survivors of
Yes.
domestic
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
Because making it out, like Lady Estelle just said, on the other side of that,
Yeah. Sure.
that takes great strength.
Yeah. Usually both of them come up, but sure. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that suggestion. Why don't you, first of all, just tell everybody who you are, what you do, and then we'll just jump into this.
All right. So I am Dr. Sabrina Robertson, LCSW. I am a licensed clinical social worker, which means I am a therapist. I'm on staff at one of the largest hospitals here in Northern California, and I have my own private practice where we educate, offer therapy, offer anger management. We just help people to live better lives by facing trauma, dealing with it, and making different decisions to live life differently.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Well, you're going to guide us through this as best you can, and we're all going to pitch in and they all know this whole interpersonal violence, domestic violence, it drives me nuts. It does. And I don't know if you brought any stats. I brought some, so we both brought some, but I'll read what I have, and then you can add to or correct what I have. These, and what I saw today was the most recent domestic violence statistics. Okay. The statistics reveal a persistent and critical issue that require urgent attention. Here are some of the most recent findings. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men have experienced severe physical violence from an intimate partner in 2025. So 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have experienced severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men have been raped by an intimate partner in their lifetime. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced physical violence, rape, or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Anderson says 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men who experience IPV first encountered it between the ages of 11 and 17. Right? These statistics highlight the widespread nature of domestic violence and its profound impact on American society, and it underscores the need for effective prevention strategies, support for survivors, and establishment of safer communities across the nation. And the one word I will just underscore was, it said, persistent and critical issue. And when I thought about it, I apparently the murder rate is down in certain cities. In fact, it's down, I understand, nationwide. But this thing seems to be there all the time. It doesn't go way up, doesn't go way down. It just seems to be there. And it drives me as a pure violence prevention person, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. Y'all know what it made. Was TV One got a whole series that it made out of this, right? They got Fatal Attraction and For My Man, and they're making a whole lot of money on intimate partner violence. So that's why we got to keep doing it. Got to keep doing. Got to chip away. And so those are my numbers. What do you have?
So can I add a little color to what you just read? Because it's what I have.
Yes.
But I want to highlight the stat 1 in 4 women and about 1 in every 7 to 9 men experience severe intimate partner violence. So this is only the stats for the severe. It does not account for those that don't meet criteria for severe. Also, domestic violence or intimate partner violence is one of the most underreported, right? And so these are just that we know.
Yeah, right.
If we got in all of the reports every time it happened,
Right.
the numbers would be even more mind-boggling. In 2026, the updated stat is that 1 in every 10 teen is now experiencing domestic violence.
Said teen.
Wait
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did you say teen?
Teenager, teen, young folks,
Children
yes,
who
Yes.
think they're grown.
yes.
Teens.
Teen.
1 in every 10.
14, 15,
Matter of fact,
16.
1 in every 10 high school student experiences
School.
physical or sexual dating violence each year. Yeah.
Okay.
Contributing factors for that, online influences, and a culture of misogyny. I know, I'm sorry, Dr. Mark.
No. We got to lay it all out there. I
Yep.
mean, we have to. This is what we're dealing with.
Yep.
You know, this is
Yep.
what we're dealing with. 1 in 10 teens.
1 in 10.
Okay.
And technology is also a contributing factor because technology is creating new forms of abuse.
And I the first thing I wanted to do after we get the numbers is sort of have you take me. What are the underlying factors in this interpersonal domestic violence thing? I mean, what's going on here? Is now normally the one thing that always jumps out at me when I see this, and I'm thinking of a couple of incidents I know right here in the Bay Area where somebody shot and killed. I know one shot and killed the new boyfriend and I guess his ex-wife in front of the child. And I happen to know these people. I absolutely know these people, right? And I know the young boy who was obviously going to be traumatized for the rest of his life. But and they always anger, right? The anger, right? That seems to be. I got mad, but I know there's more to it than just I got mad. And okay, you got mad, but so can you just Do you see these people in therapy in treatment? Some of them, do you? Because you do relationship counseling too. So what's love got to do with this? In the words of Tina Turner, what is going on here?
Mostly, it would feel like it's about anger,
Yeah,
but it's a lot about power and control.
that's what I thought.
Power and control.
Yeah.
And the desire for control is often seated in anxiety,
I'm writing this down.
right? Anxiety is the fear. It's an emotion that's attached to a fear that something scary or bad is about to happen. So if I think that you're gonna leave me,
Mhm.
I need to control your every move.
Mhm.
I need to control your whereabouts. I need to control. And once I can't control you,
Mhm.
that does what to my anxiety?
Hurts it.
It escalates it. And now I have to control the only way I can through violence.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good because I want to explore all of that.
When you said the
ahead.
criteria, you said what is the criteria?
The
So
criteria.
what's the threshold when you said that it's reported? Remember you said that they basically
I don't know what they consider
Okay, got you.
severe.
Got you.
Because if you scratch me, that's severe.
I like.
And I'm telling everybody.
I like that. Well, yeah,
Right?
yeah, I like that.
And it's obviously mental as well, right? It's not just physical.
It's mental,
Yeah.
it's physical, it's financial, it's sexual. There's so many different things. Like the criteria for what meets the criteria for domestic violence, it even includes stalking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Oh
can
yeah.
see
Right.
that.
Oh yeah.
So it's
That makes
domestic
sense.
violence is not just hitting.
Yeah. Verbal abuse.
It's verbal,
Yeah.
it's emotional, it's
Yeah.
control.
Yeah. And fear because
Absolutely.
what you said, if somebody you tell it, right?
Everybody.
But a lot of folks won't tell, won't say a word. And again, when I watch, there's shame that this happened to them.
Yeah.
There's all these feelings that go into like I can't tell my family. I mean, you take me through it better.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think about also too, because we have to include teens in this since we have stats for them.
Mhm.
This culture is so crazy. It's a little warped
Oh yeah,
because culture and the music
yeah,
will send the message that that's normal.
yeah,
It's love.
yeah,
Like, and so
yeah.
it's almost like we need to reprogram what love is.
Oh,
Love isn't controlling.
I'm putting all that down.
It isn't painful. It
Oh.
isn't, it doesn't hurt. Like it doesn't hit. Right. So when I talk to young people, I've talked to young people and you just got choked out, which is one of the deadliest forms of domestic violence. And they laughing, they smiling, because that means I'm loved. Most of my clients now, my patients now that I am working through domestic violence with are men.
Yeah.
Young men.
Yeah.
21 to 25.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
And I mean,
That they're getting abused.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so reverse. Why are you staying? Staying for my children.
Oh wow. That sounds like what ladies say.
Yep. I don't want to lose access to my children.
That's reversed.
And I have heard, since I talk to a lot of brothers, and brothers for some reason want to talk to me, that older men, they be getting hit too, and they be like, they definitely ain't telling nobody, that they woman hitting them. They might say it if they get a moment at the barbershop. It might pop out, and everybody just look at them. You know how this is a barbershop. It's not the best, most sterile for you, right? It's like, what? I can see Cedric and the Chan leaning back. What? But as for like, well, man, I don't know, but yeah. So I think this has been happening to men.
Absolutely.
They just haven't seen it. But these young people, and I love. I mean, it's great to hear these numbers about young people saying, yeah, it's happening to me. this is like, you know, here's the other thing. After every one of these shows goes off, the parent will come in. Inevitably, it's the family, and they'll say, "I hope my daughter's story or my son's story is a cautionary tale
Mm-hmm.
for somebody out there." I don't know if it's doing that at all. I don't know if it's. I think that's a nice thought, a nice idea, but without the kind of conversations that you need to have, it's just a story,
Absolutely.
and it's like that's going to happen to them, but it ain't going to happen to me. Lord, man, there's so much in here. This is
Well, I think that's so interesting that you say that, because you can't be scared to talk about this, right? Just like with the news, you have to know what's going on in the world and going on with people and what can happen, and they can be so kind and so sweet, and then behind closed doors they're like a whole other person, right? We don't see the manipulation. And so I think talking about it is really important. Using your shows or different scenarios, and you know creating that safe space for your young person, right, to be able to share, so that you can tell them that is not right, right? Like that's that you can get away, or that's not love, or sometimes people need to be uh told.
I mean, it would be one thing after these movies and calls or whatever. If they had like a call in line and discuss, it would be different. But
Yeah.
they made their story and go, "We got a call."
Yeah.
No, we don't
Oh,
have
okay.
a
Okay.
phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Solicit the phone number.
Yeah. 877-955-1061. 877-955-1061. We're talking about domestic violence, interpersonal violence,
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing. Want to talk all aspects of it?
Yeah.
Call in and just share whatever you want to share. Ask any
Absolutely.
question you want to answer. I know this makes me feel like, man, maybe nobody should be in any relationship at all. But you hear this stuff and you be like, no, now I'm staying away.
To Ann's point, though, we have to talk about it,
Yeah.
right? This type of behavior, this type of phenomenon thrives in darkness.
Yeah.
We have to shine the light on it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And not talking about it actually protects
absolutely.
the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The act,
Mhm.
and the act, of course, is done by somebody, but it protects violence.
Absolutely.
It's like, I don't want to tell nobody who did it in my neighborhood, well, that just allows a dude to run around and do it in your neighborhood. It protects the act.
And this
protects
is
violence.
this is the thing too. Silence equals consent.
You putting it all out there. Let me write that. Silence
And equals consent.
Man, that's a
Right.
bar.
equals
Consent.
consent.
Right? And
Yeah,
so
I agree with that.
if you do something to me and I don't say nothing, that's just like me saying, amen, I agree with how you just treated me.
Say that one more time.
If you do something to me
Mhm.
and I don't say anything,
Mhm.
that is essentially me saying, amen, I agree with how you treated me. And what gets rewarded, my agreement, gets repeated. So you're going to do it again. And for the neighbors that hear about it, for the family members that know it's happening, your silence equals consent. You're culpable in that thing if you don't say nothing.
So I'm so glad you said that. But see, that's the kind of thing I would say. But it's always better when somebody else says it. It's like, depends on who you want to hear it from. Well, Doc, man, I ain't get you snitching, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, if somebody else says the same thing, then maybe you listen to that person because you don't want to hear it from me because you know who I am. I love that. Silence equals consent. Silence equals consent. 877-955-1061. We got a call?
I have to disagree with that silence equals consent. That's not always the case when you're silent. You might be silent because you don't want to get your ass beat again, or you might be ashamed because you have to go to work and you have bruises on your arms and it's summertime and you got to wear long sleeve shirts in the summertime looking really odd, but then you live with him. So what are you supposed to do? You know, just make your plan and get on out. That's
Absolutely.
what I did.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful you did that. The idea that
Yeah,
silence
but I had to take a long time to do that though. And I had to wait for the right time.
absolutely.
And I'm glad I'm a survivor, and I'm just so glad. And anybody that's out there, you know, just do what you got to do to survive, but make your plan to get out, and always tell somebody what's going on. You know, whether it's a friend or a colleague, but have somebody that if they can't see it for themselves, then you got to tell somebody. You know.
Yeah, can I ask
Anyway,
if you can share?
just that
How
because I didn't consent to getting bruised up, smacked around, you know. But
Well,
thank God it could have been a lot worse. So
can I ask how you got out? I mean, if you can share that, how were you able to get out?
I found him out of my house, and he was living in an apartment, and we were still seeing each other. But you know, he would try to I'd go over to his apartment. He'd keep me in there and wouldn't let me leave, and I had to run out of there several times and escape. But I just finally, you know, just tried to stay my distance. And he was there, and I was here in different cities. And you know, finally, we just stopped seeing each other. And he would still come around, but it's like, you can't come to my house. No, you know. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm driving right now, and there's some traffic issues going on. But yeah, that silence equals consent just bothered me because I didn't consent to that crap. And, you know, whether he was on drugs and that's what brought it out in him, and now he's clean and he's still trying to come around me and call me. And it's like, you gotta go, no contact at all. Don't reply to him, nothing. And it's been good. I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore, and I'm grateful.
So can I
And college, all the girls out there that don't let them boys beat you up.
That's right.
That's not even right. And the boys, if their mama can't teach them right, or their dad not to hit on women or their girlfriends, then you know they got to do it in school. They got to go wherever on the radio. And I'm so glad that there's programs like this that you guys are talking about this, because you know it's a lot of it going on, and you know, not just physical but mental abuse, emotional abuse, not head games, not even right. But I got out because I'm not going to let myself be treated like that. I'd rather be alone and single and do what I want than have to be trapped by somebody that wants to control me and do what he wants. No, thank you.
Praise
That's
the
all
Lord.
I wanted to say.
That's a lot.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Before you go,
I think she's going, lady.
But she's
might
probably
be
still listening.
She's probably
She's
listening.
She's listening.
we just want to celebrate you, your
Absolutely.
freedom, your courage, your persistence, your resilience, and the fact that you definitely used your voice.
Absolutely.
Definitely let somebody know. So being silent, you were not.
Mhm.
You let somebody know that things weren't going like they should be going, like you wanted them to go. And you did it absolutely right. And you knew the right time. And you had people sitting in wait for your escape, for your freedom. So when we say silence is permission, it is giving consent. It is not the silence that you need to have when you said, it's that silence when you with him, letting him know, that sometimes you got to be quiet because you are making your plan.
Absolutely.
And making your plan included letting somebody know, which was not being silent. So just know that, be clear when she says silence is consent. It's not that part. We're talking about just taking it, doing nothing, saying nothing, just feeling like you're not worth what you are absolutely worth. You're not worth your freedom. You're not worth being treated well, cared for, and you absolutely are. So you did it all, and we celebrate you.
You
I
know,
just
man,
have to make that clear.
oh, well, no.
That's exactly what I
No,
was. I mean,
yeah,
you said it
yeah,
all.
yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I was like, come on now, because you right. You're right, Dr. Robinson.
Yeah.
Because I want to call you Dr. Sabrina. Dr.
That's
Sabrina,
that's
you are
yeah.
absolutely right. And sometimes the way we hear it, you know, and we've got to make it clear what you did just what I said.
Mhm.
You were not silent. And we have to speak. We've
Absolutely.
got to say, and we got to know who we're talking to and when to talk. We got to know. Okay, so let me go back to Dr. Sabrina.
877-955-1061. Thank you for the call. Please, thank you. We have another one. You're on the air. We're talking about domestic violence. What's your thoughts, your comments?
I just wanted to say thank you for what you said after we hung up,
Oh,
Yeah.
for what she said. Okay, that was me. I was still listening.
Okay, I'm so glad you were still
Right on.
listening.
thank you.
And thank you so much for calling back. Because, baby, we celebrate your freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it made me think of, thank you. Slaves in slavery, you gonna be quiet while you plotting your escape. Right?
That's called wisdom.
When you need where
That's called
Harriet is
wisdom.
coming, right? Nobody know. You ain't even told the rest of the other slaves.
That's
that you
called
going,
wisdom.
because everybody spoil it, right? That's what I was thinking of. I'm getting out of here, right? So I'm gonna keep it I ain't gonna tell the master, but
that's the
that's
thing,
exactly what I thought
Yeah.
of.
I'm excited that she called, and I hope that
Yeah.
her share, her brave share,
Yeah.
encouraged other people because she laid out the steps exactly how it's supposed to be done, or a good way to do it. There's more than one
How
way.
she got out.
How she got
How
out,
she
but
got out.
yeah,
Hey, 877-955-1061. We're talking about domestic violence, interpersonal violence. Call with any thoughts that you have, any prevention strategies, anything. It's funny. Look what my t-shirt said. Let's talk about it. Look at that. That's funny. It's interesting. Tonight, his shirt says exactly what we're doing. How does this stuff start? And I know how it starts, but it's just always tough for me. Look, every year we read the Kimber story, Kimber Smith, right? Kimber Smith. And, because, this girl got caught up, right?
Mhm.
And I know how it starts. And it's just like, what this, I don't know. Yeah, I know how she did. She saw this guy and she thought he was one thing and he was a different thing. And then the signs showed up and she was like, let it go, let it go. She let it pass. That was the main thing. She just let it pass. She let it go. What we would call red flags.
Mhm.
She let the red flags go. And she was 18, 19 when this happened. And it led to consequences. And every time I watch her story, when the big red flag came, when he beat the hell out of her, she rationalized it. And this is her, right? She rationalized it away. She came with, he's not always that way. I see another side of him. Just and I know that story inside and out, and we study that so we can help these these young girls who are going off to college, and the last thing they expect when they get to college is they're gonna run into, and she ended up in what, 24 years without the possibility of parole.
Yeah.
But she got caught up in the mandatory minimums. He was a drug dealer, and it turns out that she felt that there was something wrong with her.
Mhm.
That's basically what it turns out. So that's her story. Everybody's got their own version. And by the way, if there's a man out there who's been through this, give us a call too. 877-955-1061. Hi, you're on Street Soldiers. We're talking about domestic violence. Go right ahead. Yep, you're on. Where you calling from?
No.
Can you hear me? Gone? Okay, all right. When you talk about these young people, see, that's even, and Kimber was a college kid, but you talking about young people. So is this is this? And I hate to use the word culture, but is it there a culture of this stuff? Is it like, because kids?
Well, I think there's like certain things that have changed now with young people and how maybe the abuse can kind of start and then grow. And I think it starts with like the cell phone. So like, what's your passcode? What's that like? Getting the passwords to your Instagram and seeing who you're talking to, and analyzing that kind of stuff.
And I actually think it starts earlier.
Yeah, no,
Well,
for sure.
I
Yeah.
think it starts with people hitting each
Yes,
other.
but this is
That whole thing of little kids hitting each other is a thing that and it's fun. It's funny. It's cute. And a lot of times it's the girls hitting on the yard, hitting the boy. All right, you're on. Go right ahead. Hi.
Yes, hi. I'm actually a domestic violence survivor of 7 years now. And, when you're young, you think love is so easy and life is so easy. And then when it actually hits you and you become a victim, your eyes are wide open by then. And it's a lot easier said than done to leave. And it's harder to walk away from somebody that you love truly.
Okay. I was thinking of the process of going from there to when it happens. What's that process? Because you don't expect it to be like that. You don't go into it thinking you're going to be abused.
Very young when I got married. I was about 17, 18 years old, and I had 4 kids from the same man. And I thought I was truly in love. He was, everything I ever wanted. And, didn't realize until he started using drugs that, I had to leave. And how was I going to leave? How was I going to do it with 4 kids?
wow.
And I was terrified. I didn't work ever in my life. He had worked. He was a breadwinner. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how I was going to survive. And I just took every day by day, basically. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I said, the only person that's going to help me is me.
Yes.
I have a question.
On everybody around you. You can't depend on family sometimes. You can't depend on friends. And actually, my oldest daughter was my strength. She's the one that, would encourage me every day. Mom, get up. Come on, we can do this. We got it. We have another day to get through. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have ever made it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
You did. And thank
she
you for sharing.
graduated high school through it all. She went through, from cleaning up my blood every day to being my inspiration every day, to waking me up and, saying, Mom, we've got this. One more day, and then it'll be over.
Our hearts are
And a child shall lead them. How wonderful that your baby girl, came in to help with the courage and turn on the light for you. I just have a question. And again, we celebrate you and your survival and your freedom. I'm wondering though, because you said that you loved him so much and that he was what you always wanted. Then when he became that other one, that one that you just couldn't believe the monster was there. Did you ever find yourself hoping and wanting him to love you back? Maybe did you ever find yourself waiting for him to love you?
Yeah, I would sit there and I would tell myself, why am I still here? I wanted to keep my family together, and I was going to do everything I could to try to help him get back to the way he was before. And until an actual doctor sat there and he told me, look, you're fighting the devil and you're never going to win. So let him live his world and you live yours and move on and have a better life. And, if it wasn't for him telling me that, I would have still stayed and went through the beatings and went through, the torture and, the belittlement. So it was realization, basically, people outside of out of the circle that made me realize it.
Hallelujah, you made it, baby.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah, you made it. Woo! You see, when somebody loves you, that's not what it looks like. We need to hear from the doctor. I mean, do you have a question for Dr. Sabrina?
Caller.
I am happy.
Is she? Okay. Well, I just have a question for Dr. Sabrina because here we're at this point of love.
Mhm.
Dr. Marshall talked about Kimba and what she discovered, and then she did it again. You know, she went back. I know in my book, I wrote a poem, and the title is I Did It Anyway.
Mhm.
That I did it again, you know something. Because I'm one of those who believes we get a picture, we get a clue, but we do it anyway.
Mhm.
We do it anyway.
Yeah.
So I even when we have the clue, Mike, even when we get the notice, something says, don't go. But we do it anyway. Yeah, I did it anyway. All right, I paid. But what do young people
And
need?
old.
Well, it sounds like it's becoming an epidemic with young people. I don't know what it is about the teens who feel like they're supposed to find their forever after in high school. No, it may not be she may not be in high school because everybody in high school, most of them can be pretty close to nuts. But talking about love, is there a caller?
Yeah, we got to call. There you go.
All right, Dr. Marshall. Well,
Let
let's
me-
take the call. But the question, help us with the love piece, Dr. Sabrina.
I got you.
Caller.
That went on.
No, no.
Hi, you are on Street Soldiers talking about domestic violence. Hi.
Hello.
Yes. Yes. What do you have to say?
My a question to the guest: how many women are murdered a year in the nation, according to domestic violence?
I think the stat is like half of the women that are murdered they're murdered by a current or former partner in the United States. I don't have the exact number, but I think it's like half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he still there?
50,000.
Nancy?
What is it?
50,000?
Hold on, that's from
No,
the
that's too
United
low.
Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too low.
Yeah. A lot.
A lot.
More
A
than
lot.
more than it should be.
Absolutely.
More than it should be.
To Ladies Estelle's question, is the caller still there?
Yeah.
Or did he hang up?
He hung up. Yeah.
I think it's important for us to realize that abuse doesn't start with violence. Abuse doesn't start with violence, and it's a gradual thing, which is where love comes in.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's a very slow walk, right? That is very structured with a lot of love bombing.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Explain what that means.
where you just flood somebody with love.
Okay.
I mean, like a
The
flood.
gifts and the kind
All
words,
the things that make you feel
little text messages in
absolutely
the morning and before bed. Yes.
all of the things that will get you wrapped up, tied up, and tangled up. Right? And then comes the control. Then comes the manipulation. Then comes the isolation. Right? Separating you from everything, everybody, your head is messed up. You know who this person could be. So you've seen the potential. Right? And so the first time something happens, that first flag raised, you see it, but you also see the potential. You also live in the history of what was, which is seeding you to believe what still can be. Right? And then we've been taught that love is patient. So you stay. Right? Lady Estelle.
Love is patient. It's
also
interesting.
kind.
It's like, that's the first one. And then the next one is love is kind. But we don't stop at patient, because that's the other thing. Because you get to thinking, you supposed to wait for 1 minute. After that, time's up.
But I think that's where the other part where Dr. Marshall talked about the children. that witness it, right?
Yeah.
Because to them, from childhood, it's normalized now. So as an adult, if I've seen it as a child,
Right.
that's normal.
Right.
So when I experience it, it's normal.
I mean, there's so much in here.
I know.
I'm quiet because are we just on the street? They call them. Are we just marks for love? You know what a mark is, right? You know, like, are we just like, yeah, here come love, boom. Is that what I mean? I that's a that's a serious question for everybody. Everybody's eventually going to be most people are going to have a relationship, right? So if this is, and how much of this is that's manipulation, isolation, how much of this is intentional, or does that happen after you get in it? Because you may not be going in as manipulation or an isolationist, up and all of that. Is that something that happens while you're in it from either side? Does the woman decide to be that way? Does the man see that way? And what are and I guess I'm asking this because I'm assuming in treatment you find this stuff out. I'm just watching this stuff from the outside, right? Not necessarily from the inside. Okay, I need a deep breath
Well,
anyway.
It's a really good question, and we have so many more questions that are going to be answered in our next hour. So please stay with us. Head on over to YouTube Live at Stay Alive and Free, because this is a really important discussion. You can always take us on the go when you visit stayaliveandfree.org. We are on all the streaming podcast things that you listen to. So go ahead and search for us, and we're on that iHeartMedia app too. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.
See you in a couple minutes on YouTube, and I will be back live on 106.1 Cameo Sunday night for my Mike Late Night. I'm the Love Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hour number two, alive and free. Street Soldiers Radio. I don't know about anybody else out there, but I needed the break. Powerful phone calls, powerful stories of, I'll just say, love gone wrong. We're talking about domestic violence, intimate partner violence, I think is the other term that's used. What we can do about it. That's what we can do about it. Hopefully, during this hour, we'll get on to some prevention strategies because, we don't want this to happen. We don't want it to happen. We don't have to rescue people. And certainly, there's a reason that the show is called Fatal Attraction, because people are dying behind love. All right, that's what it is. And I'm a violence prevention person, trying to keep people alive and free here. Our guest is Dr. Sabrina Robertson, who was just wonderful. I mean, I'm glad you're here with me.
Glad to be here with you. This is
Here
tough.
with me. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough, and this is what you do. So it's and this, like I said before, this is the hardest one for me. I mean, I could deal with family, I could deal with friends, I could deal with gun violence, I could deal with this, but this one, man, this love thing is like, oof, wow. And you see, I mean, I got Diddy running through my head. I got R. Kelly running through my head. The things they have done to people behind, attraction, love, or whatever, and the whole setup, as you put it, right? The manipulation, the
Power and
isolation,
control.
the power and control, right? And that's not something that you would associate with the word love, right? But nobody says, I love you. They don't say I power you, I control you, and that's what it is, I mean, obviously, those are pimp words. that's a pimp to do, right? They use the word love, and they can, whether they're gorilla pimps or sweet talking pimps, it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we said this, and I really thought you were appropriate by saying this happens to both men and women. And more and more it's happening to our young people. And I mean, young people have always grown up on these love stories, right? These love stories. But I would guess that maybe with the isolation that has come with young people now, and these phones and so on and so forth, and it's the young people we see, and there's this, like, I don't know, it's like, what do we see with them? Yeah.
Well, there's just so much stuff that can be done with the technology that, like,
It's tapping into this loneliness
yeah.
that is created by technology.
Absolutely.
Right? It's isolating. Just from what we've seen with our young people, and the other thing young people tell us, it's isolating. That they're into this. They're not into people. They can't. A lot of times they can't. Their social skills are, I don't know, gone. You send them on a job interview, but this just made it worse. So, yeah, go ahead.
So as we talk about prevention, as we started to bring that into the conversation, some signs of an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
We keep talking about controlling behavior, but what does that look like? Examples of controlling behavior: monitoring where your partner goes, demanding access to phones, demanding access to messages, social media. So people going through your phone. That's a red flag. That's a sign. Telling their partner what they can wear and who they can see. Picking your friends for you.
That one, what they can wear, that's
What
a big
you can
one.
wear. Yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a sign.
Yeah, it's definitely a sign.
Right? Because that's control.
Yep.
And when we yield to it, you've given them the power. Another sign, making all the decisions in the relationship. There is no partnership. There is no equity there. That's a sign. And we remember, abuse often begins with control, not bruises. We work our way to that. Another sign, extreme jealousy
Yes.
or
Ooh,
possessiveness,
but them too.
right?
Which to some folks seems like love.
Listen, it may look like love or concern. I'm just
That's
worried
right.
about you.
Right,
I
yeah,
just
I'm just
wanna
worried
give you
about you.
faith.
That's right.
It would be great if it stayed
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But the truth is, it often escalates. What does escalation looks like? Accusing their partner of cheating without reason. I saw how you looked at her. I saw you looking at him. Constantly checking in or demanding proof of a location.
See, let me say, that stuff is so common.
Mhm.
And comics make a joke out of this. They make a joke out of this all the time. So there's this line between, is it serious or is it funny?
But that's part of culture. So
Yeah.
it's normal.
Yeah.
Becoming angry when your partner spends time with other people.
Yeah.
That's a sign.
Yeah.
And then probably the most powerful tool is the isolation from family and friends. Isolation from the people who gonna check in and say, how you doing? Are you good? That's gonna tell you the truth or that's gonna stand up for you. If I can isolate you from them, I got all the power and all the control, right? And so we have to remember abusers will often try to separate victims from their support systems.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And examples can look like criticizing or discouraging relationships with loved ones, creating conflicts that make the victim withdraw from others, moving their partner away from their support network. We hear stories all the time of women, we moved to another state, I didn't know nobody. We moved to a faraway city. Those are signs.
Wow.
In your experience, one day, and I'm gonna go back to, and we got Malcolm. Who else we got? Malcolm and Austin. We can bring them in. They don't start out like this, so I don't even know if the. How can I say? Obviously, people must bring notions to the relationship that they haven't fully. They may be aware of, right? I would assume people might not know that they're, that if she says no to me, that means I can't let no woman speak. I mean, I don't even think either way. I mean, even a woman, right? There must be something. Is this already in them? That's something that comes out in a relationship. I guess you'd have to have people just tell you how they became that way, right? In the first place, because it's sometimes it's immediate or sometimes it's gradual. I know in studying Kimba's story and her talking about Peter, right? He's a drug dealer, he's smooth, he's this and so on and so forth. Not only he didn't appear that way, but because there's no study of his life in the book. There's only a study of what he does to her.
He was cool and he was charming and he was funny.
All the
like
things.
he had money, so
Yeah, but there's something.
her friends approved.
Yeah, but there's notions going on inside of him that were dormant under that, right? He's very obviously the brother's hella insecure, but appearing to be
Absolutely
a secure man, right? And he that does the study isn't about his life.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. I guess there are women who come to the relationship who are not whole themselves, right? Hoping the other person's gonna make them that way. And then something happens and it leads them into this things that they begin to do. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out because, like you said, it's got to start early. All of it has to be looked at because, we're trying to prevent. We want to get people with healthy people,
Absolutely.
right?
So that
With
means we
healthy
got to
people.
create healthy people.
Yeah, healthy people throughout.
Yep.
So that when issues arise, it doesn't turn into this. Okay, we got Artane Smith. Thank you, Artane. Nay, how you doing, my baby?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Artane, I love you. Okay.
So excited.
Oh, and Malcolm Mobley. Malcolm, what's up?
Hey, Dr. Marshall. Hey, Mrs. Still.
Thank you for having me on the show.
These are a couple of our Omega graduates, alternate from Dillard, Malcolm from Morgan State. They are wonderful, beautiful people, and we want them to stay alive and free and not in crazy relationships. So, they know. I don't know. See, something happened to her. The problem is something happened to her. I have to do something. Yes, I have. Yeah, I go down there. Don't mess with Alternate. Don't mess with Nene. And Malcolm is just the greatest young man in the world. So, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to any of that first hour. It was a lot in there. Just to pull you in, when you think of what comes to your mind when you hear about domestic violence and what we can do, uh, do about it, and what you've seen or what you think is going on here. Just and Malcolm says his audio is going in and out, so alternate. You have to start.
No problem. I feel like domestic violence is not just a physical thing, it's definitely also a mental thing. I don't think a lot of people realize that it all kind of starts with one person, and then it can also, I feel like, once you're kind of like how we used to talk about like being affected, once you get sick, you can get everybody else sick. Like, so
Yeah.
once you start the mindset and start holding on to that mindset, it starts to affect everybody around you.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see anything when anything like that when you were in school with some of your classmates? Did you see?
Oh yes, it was surprise. Usually people are like, oh, it's mostly the men and stuff like that. It's women, especially like my freshman year. There were a few of the women who would start like rumors and stuff like that about domestic violence and it not be completely true or the full story, at least the parts of I know to my knowledge, the situations I've been around. So it kind of changes the campus environment on how we look at certain people.
Mm, 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 mm. Malcolm, are you able to jump in right now, or how's your reception? Your thoughts?
Yes. Sorry, my reception a little spotty. I'm currently in a car, but I believe the prompt was, what are my initial thoughts when it comes to domestic violence,
Yeah.
and how can we stop it?
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're great. You're fine. Don't go away.
Hold on.
Nope. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, how can we stop
Um,
it? Yeah, prevent. Yeah, and what anything you've
uh,
seen.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when I think of domestic violence, it's exactly as you said. It doesn't have to be just physical. A lot of times it ends up leading there, but often it definitely does start with people manipulating someone else's situation, whether that's mentally or just taking them out of their element. The example was given earlier of removing someone from their support system. That could sometimes look like just physically moving them away from their family or something like that, just to like you said, isolate them. So you can uh, you know take away their ability to lean on and receive help from their family, their close friends. Um, and I guess how to prevent that is, I guess from an outside of that, if you're outside that dynamic, you go always, try to check in on your family um, as often as you can, and then from the inside, reach out as often as you can.
We created some wise young people.
So Malcolm and Antoinette, have you been exposed to or seen anyone that you know of that has had to deal with domestic violence or violence on campus when you're engaged in it or had to deal with it, a date that went awry? Have you had any of those, Malcolm? Have you had to come to anybody's defense? Have you had to protect anybody? Has anybody called on you? Antoinette, has anybody called on you to step in? Or have you had a need for somebody to look out for you?
I think when it comes to at least like relationships with like domestic violence, I feel like because I don't want to use like the term survivor, but have experienced it like growing up, I feel like it kind of is easier to identify like as the older I get. Um, I feel like the best part is knowing that you do have a support system. Like I feel like I have a great support system throughout my life, so it's easier to get away from negative situations. Or if I'm not seeing it, or somebody around me is not seeing it, having the someone in your life is like, hey, this is not you. This is something that's affecting. Like this is not the person we know you to be.
Okay, okay. Sometimes we recognize them a mile away, and then sometimes we recognize that there's a rhythm change.
Right.
And when your friends can recognize that rhythm change and they say, wait a minute, what's going on? He ain't that fine.
Right.
And it makes you stop and think.
Yeah.
And remember, because sometimes if you've been exposed to it, you can, sometimes it's normal
Yeah.
and we can't see it until we are reminded.
Right.
All right. And we remember. Malcolm, what about you?
I can say that I was definitely on the receiving end of, needing help in a situation like that. I depend on my dad a lot. Like while I was in school, I called him every day, and I was actually in a situation where with another person, um, and I told my dad about it, from the jump, and his initial response was no, that's not something you should pursue, and unfortunately, I did not follow his initial um
Counsel.
his
Advice.
initial
Yeah,
advice.
you didn't do like your daddy recommended. You didn't do like you were told. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to say, but go ahead and say it. We know.
Yeah, I didn't do like I was told.
Yep.
I ignored the red flag.
Yeah.
And
Happens.
so yeah, it happens. And I definitely learned my lesson, for sure. But I let the situation get to a point where I was actually, unfortunately I was threatened with a weapon.
Mm.
Okay.
And I was able to, remove myself from the situation, and I immediately, leaned on my support system, called my dad, and he was able to help guide me, out of that situation.
Mm.
Luckily, I'm still here today, alive and free.
Alive.
Amen.
So what the audience is hearing is the past doesn't have to be your present or your future, because the past can be a reminder of this is not the way to go. This is not how to do it. Remember what happened before and how that happened, and you don't have to take that route. And then you've got that somebody, but you just want to hope and trust and believe that maybe this is not the case. But the minute you discover that it is not where you're supposed to be, not what you, and like that whole something my dad told me, and I didn't want to believe him. So how to listen and trust and remember, pay attention to the guidance that you're given, even if she is fine or he, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm glad you guys made it through. I'm sorry for the experience, but I'm glad you made it.
And it makes me want to ask, and I could probably ask anybody this, all of us this, but with them, those two, based on what you just said. Every experience is supposed to be a learning experience, right? Um, what did you learn that would help you guide you in terms of future relationships? Um, have you come up with your own set of, I don't know, antenna guidelines, you know, that like when you see something, I mean, as African people call it, the third eye, the intuition, you know, aren't they for you and Malcolm? What would it be? Certain things you see, no, 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 no. Well, I don't need to be sure, but go ahead. I'm interested in hearing that.
For me, I really think for me, it always starts with conversation. Like, how do you talk to me? How do you address me? I personally don't let people disrespect me, and especially in conversation. If I feel like something's wrong, I'm very outspoken. I'm gonna speak on it. I'm like, I don't like how you talk like this or X, Y, and Z. But I really feel like it stems from knowing a pattern. Some people can come off very sweet in the beginning, and then conversations can change or how they talk to you. So I feel like it's easiest to catch if you hear like the conversations change on how you're addressed or how conversations go. It's easier to be like, that's the red flag, because if I know you're talking to me crazy now, it can only get worse from this point on.
I like that. I know you're talking to me crazy now. I ain't gonna expect you to be less crazy the next time.
Absolutely.
I like that. I like that. Good for you. Because I don't want to come down there all day. You know I will, right? You know that.
I know you will. I am all good on the scene.
Malcolm, what about you?
I would say for me, number one is always ask God. But another good barometer that I've used is to gauge a person is their relationship with their parents. Because that was always something big for me growing up. I've always been super family oriented, and I know a lot of people don't have the sometimes have that privilege to be able to have a good relationship with their parents, but just having a good relationship with any uh parental figure in their life is always a good sign for me, because that means, that shows me that you may have the same kind of morals and values that I do, you know. And I'm not saying that if you don't, it's immediate, deal breaker, but I always have used that to gauge a person for sure.
And you should be that serious about it because you putting your life in the hands of somebody, right? You putting your life in the hands of somebody, and uh, you don't want to gamble with your life. We've been telling you that since we met you. Whether it be friends or family, or this bugaboo, this love thing, right? This love thing. Uh, oh, look at here who popped in. Is this who I think? I thought about you asking her, but I know how late it is down there, girl.
Yeah, I said I'm sorry. I have to chime in because this is really a very touchy topic that is good to talk about.
Malcolm's
Thank
butt.
you for sharing.
Thank you. Oh wow, wow. Oh, now you caught me off guard. I barely caught off guard. Jada, I don't know if you've heard any of this.
Yeah, I did. I was listening the whole time.
Okay.
Yes, that's why she sent me. That's the reason why she's on here, because she was listening and she sent me a text. Bless her heart. Hey, baby, how are you?
I'm good. How's everybody doing? Hi, y'all today.
Hi, sister girl.
Hi, Dillard. Illustrious Dillard.
Also a Dillard graduate. So, what you want to your thoughts? Just listen to this discussion. Anything happened with you personally, or that you saw in college around violence, the domestic violence, or interpersonal partner violence? And what do you have to share?
Yes. So just to kind of piggyback off of everybody, I completely agree with, domestic violence being something that doesn't always come in the most obvious form. Of course, charm is always attached to it, or like Mrs. Stell said, the fineness, of course. I think something that was pretty prominent for me, like being in school, like what Altane said, a lot of narratives being shifted around and people just blindly, and I say blindly because you hear a narrative and you automatically think, oh, that could never be me, right? Like, that's not going to be me. That was their experience, but it can't be mine, right? And so you start wavering on this process of, well, let me see. And it's like you done had all these signs, you done had, what we say background music that confirms that this is not where you're supposed to be, but you ignore it because of the simple fact that you think it can't happen to you. And I literally remember sitting in class at Omega, listening to the story about Kimba and thinking, man, and you guys said it, don't say it can't be you. It can happen to anybody. And I still thought to myself, nah, not me. But it did happen to me. And it was not in the form that I ever would have thought it would be. And I actually called Mrs. Estelle, talked to her about it. I called Dr. Marshall, talked to her about it. I called Malcolm, talked to him about it. So I was definitely able to lean on my support system. And to me, it's amazing to come out of it and to reflect on it and see where I missed the red flags, even though I know them, right? They're embedded in me, my soul and my spirit and my discernment, but I still, missed them. And reflecting on it has been a journey. Learning what power and control is, the cycles of abuse, love bombing, like all of that stuff is, of course, it's taught about, but when it comes in your face and dressed up on a nice silver platter, it's like, ooh, maybe this is like amazing. Like maybe this is not really like, something that I should be worried about. But then you start seeing the signs, and then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you realize that you're a victim of domestic violence. And you're like, whoa, how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not just physical, it's emotional, it's verbal.
Mm-hmm.
Learning the different terms of gaslighting, isolation from your family. I call it word salad, but it's a form of like mental gymnastics, that you deal with in communicating with someone who is abusing you, and just to add more depth into it, it's even harder to navigate when you create life with that person too, like another life. So that's also hard to, I don't think a lot of women or men who are victims of domestic violence really understand. It's like a lifelong commitment that you inadvertently signed up for, and you're learning how to navigate it.
Inadvertently. I like that. Um, I love them. I love them. That verbal abuse thing is that the early thing? Is that, I would imagine that might be the early thing. Well, that Malcolm and you and your business, that verbal abuse.
It's in there.
But is that like, I won't say first because it can't be the first. Was that an early ending? Because the way people talk to you, to me, could sort of set it up.
That's a good question for Dr. Sabrina.
So early signs. One, can I just celebrate these young people?
Yes.
You guys are amazing.
They're all graduates. Amazing.
My daughter went to
brilliant,
Dillard, so I have a special place in my heart for Dillard.
Okay.
But early signs can include extreme jealousy, controlling behaviors, constant monitoring, isolation from family and friends, and verbal put downs. So that little chipping away at your self-esteem, right? And that could look like anything. You gonna wear that? Why are you talking to her? He looked like this, like just little things.
The reason I said verbal is that that's so common in every day somebody's putting somebody down. I mean, verbal abuse is like,
it's normalized.
No, yeah, that's the word.
It's normalized.
Well, sometimes they call it capping. Oh, I'm just playing. No, they ain't playing. Capping, teasing, whatever. What are the words you all use when you just be
I think
trash talking?
I'm just playing.
I think as a community and as a culture, when we started using derogatory terms as terms of endearment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I like that.
That started to desensitize us to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Yep.
Okay. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
See, I don't do that.
Yeah. And again, we live in such, everything's funny with us. Stuff that's serious is funny. You know, you
It's
listen
funny.
to these comics and they be talking about serious stuff and people are clapping to it, you know, and they making it funny. And to me, seriously, I'm one of them people. I almost cussed on there. That ish ain't funny, right? You know, but you know, we go to comedy shows and they be talking about hitting people and this, that, and everybody laughing. And I'm saying that stuff ain't funny. It's like we do that to ourselves. We do that to each other, you know, so we can laugh and have a good time. But you know, to me, we set ourselves up. But I see that a lot. Yes, alternate.
I think there's a fine line between joking and actually like meaning what you say. I feel like the joke is as if we're both in on it. Like we know it's fun. And there is a difference between you talking about me and trying to make it a joking tone so I won't take it too hard and it actually being a joke. So I feel like with a lot of things there's a fine line. You have to like really know that person to be able to have that kind of I don't want to say situation, but that kind of relationship.
And a joke is only a joke if both of us laughing.
I
Right.
know that's right. You can say
If you,
that.
if you done bent over slapping your knee when you sit upright, if I ain't laughing,
It ain't funny.
I wasn't a joke.
Yes. You have to know me to be able to make that kind of joke. You can't say certain things to me and think it's okay. One person may be able to say it, but that's why maybe I have history with that person. You can't say the same things that the next person says.
And the fact that you have to be a decipherer of that, you know, are you serious? You ain't serious. You playing? You ain't playing. Oh, baby, I was playing. I mean, then you're like, okay, now that is, ooh, all that is in here. And I really think that language, it starts with that. That's why we have this destructive language, right? That's why we talk about certain words we don't use. We don't use because we see them as part of violence, right? You know, but all these words everybody uses, they just, you know, everybody uses the same words. Oh, I'm just so yeah.
So, Dr. Marshall, can I ask the promise in the room? That's what I call the young people. We the wisdom, they the promise. Can I ask them a question? When we started the show, I gave a statistic that 1 in every 10 high schooler, has experienced or is experiencing some form of domestic violence. Does that stat sound about right from your generational standpoint, 1 in 10 high schoolers?
I believe so. I don't always think it's relationship situations. It may start at home. The statistics I feel like maybe even higher than that. But at the same time, we won't know, or we don't know, because some people may not address it as domestic violence or violence period or domestic. Some people just may think that's just how life goes.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Now I'm worried about my grandkids.
Well, you know, I'm definitely concerned because I've got 3 gorgeous, you know, 2 boys, and they are just gorgeous. Okay, drop dead gorgeous, right? And one is already concerned about not being enough. What? You know, and what they're saying, you know, I've watched him say, well, one thing I found out, Gigi, he said, is girls like to be told they're right. So that means like, get ready, you know, because I have a completely different perspective. I think people how people are supposed to be treated, how you're supposed to be treated, how you're supposed to treat others, what to expect, what's okay, what's not okay, and what you got to work for and what you don't have to work for. You know, because we live in a whole different time today. Now, I'm going to take 2 minutes just to say the girls today, those ones that say, "Oh no, I got to have this. He's got to pay for my this, get my nails done, my hair did. He's got to come out there." I'm like, not that one, baby. Not that one. And I'm going to tell you straight up, no, not that one. Okay? You know, that whole dynamic of the expectations that's put on kids. What?
Yeah.
You know, but I think that my daughter is crazier than I am. She said, You 16 years old. Hold on. We gonna get this right now.
Nip
You know,
it.
and then the girls, you know, and these boys who it's a whole different world. So we got to step it up anyway. So yes. No. I am all on it and in it. I may be calling Dr. Robinson. Hey, I need a consultation.
You know what you're saying, Lady Estelle, highlights why this particular subject is considered a public health crisis.
Yes.
It impacts
Yes.
so many people. It's a web. And if I could tell the young people, I mean the high schoolers, anything, who you date, who you spend time with impacts your entire family. It impacts your entire community. Even looking into you guys, Dr. Marshall said, Alternate, if something happened to you, I got to come down there. We didn't pull nonviolence into violence because we're that connected. I remember as a young person, I lived in a projects. I grew up in the projects. I'm from Richmond. Yay. And I remember listening to the domestic violence that was happening in my neighbor's home. I remember sitting up at night, could not sleep, stomach nauseated because I'm listening to somebody get violated next door. It's not even my business, but I still feel it. And so it impacts more than just
it really does.
the people that's being impacted immediately.
It really does.
I got a grandson too, Lady Estelle, and I'm listening to me. They can have this little doctorate back over mine.
I'm telling you.
I know in my conversations with them and, you know, with young people, the question I always ask them, one question is, what are you looking for? I mean, what are you looking for? I mean, you got love out here. That is the word that you've been hearing since you was like born. But what are you looking for? I mean, you got to have some idea of is it a feeling? Is it? I mean, and you know, they in this conversation they would say, well, you know, I'm not generally. Again, I've heard this term that like I'm missing something, and I always hate when I hear that. I don't like when I hear that because that means like, and I think you're whole and complete as you are, but you know, you somehow think that there's something missing or there's something more, and this person or this relationship is going to complete or fill in what's missing, right? So I think at least asking people that, you know, what are you looking for? What do you think this relationship is going to do for you? And you got to have some idea about what this love thing is supposed to go do for you. Yeah, and I don't know if people even talk about that. I don't at all. I'm proposing. That's one thing I will say, because I mean, I'm looking at Kimba. She thought this thing was going to bring something, and it didn't bring anything like that. But you know, and maybe I'm completely off base here. Maybe I'm jaded or whatever. But this stuff is too serious to play with for me.
Absolutely.
It's too serious to play with for me. And Jada's a good thing I didn't know as much as Mrs. Stell knew, because you know, I mean, because I know the one you're talking about, right? And like, I'm a dude, what you messing with? See, so sometimes it's good not to tell dad stuff. And let me just say one thing about Malcolm now here's the thing about Malcolm. You know, this is the nicest young man you will ever meet. He said, I mean, really, this brother's like, you wouldn't even think he grew up around other brothers, right? He is that nice. And the last thing he needs is to be corrupted. And I will use the word corrupted. Because if somebody like him, then he'll be like, you know, his heart will be hardened, right? And so I'm glad his dad, I've read, it's his, his dad did him a service. When he was ready to listen, he was ready to help him out. So he's what I want all young men to be. He is a wonderful young man. And someday he will find, you know, but at least he has a notion now. Did you hear all the descriptions that he was saying? I'm going to see their family, how their values that I have. See, he's thinking about it now. He's thinking about it. But
and you've got to look beyond, you know, well, that's, again, I like to go back to Dr. Sabrina. what kinds of things can young people hear and know and think about and remember to protect them so that the experience doesn't have to be, I've been through it. And so now I have a better idea what can I have or do? I think Jada, I didn't even finish the question. I think Jada said, I studied Kimba. I know, but this can't happen to me. And then I saw the signs. Then the flags came up, but I didn't pay attention because I'm still thinking it cannot happen to me. What do I need to hear? What does she need to hear so that you know, it doesn't happen again. Because even though you made it through this one, the residual is still there. Sometimes a scar, you that it starts to itch. I don't know if you ever had scars that itch again. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, here comes another one. And you think, what? Tell us something. Talk to us.
Yeah.
Help us.
I think both you, Lady Estelle, and Dr. Marshall asked two pivotal questions, right? Dr. Marshall said, what are you looking for? Right? The reality is, a lot of times, most of the time, they're legitimate needs. Who don't want to feel love? Like, we were created for that, right? What are you looking for? Slow down long enough to identify it, right? And once you identify it, ask yourself, or sit down and talk to somebody, is that something that I can find within? So then I'm not reliant on anybody else for that, right? The second thing that I think matters. Lady Estelle, what was your question?
Girl, see.
Huh?
What can you say? I said, girl, see. See, when I let it out, I don't hold on to it. But yeah, what can you say to us that can help us be on the lookout? Help us remember what
So
we
I
can
think
hold on to.
slow down. Slow down. The reality is, a lot of times when it comes to love, we move too fast. And the reality is, no one can consistently be who they're not. If we just wait
That's
and
right.
give them enough time, the real them gonna show up.
You are right.
That's
But because
correct.
we move so fast, by the time they show up, we wrapped up, tied up, tangled up.
Amen.
thing.
Now that's
Yes,
right.
that's golden.
When you
That
were
is
here
golden.
last time, Dr. Roberts,
Let
I
me
made
put the fire up.
everything you said because I'm building a prevention strategies based on our conversation.
Yep.
Lord, and number one thing you said was slow down.
Slow down.
That's exactly what you said. I said,
Don't be in a hurry.
again,
Slow
slow
down.
down. Don't rush the relationships.
Yep.
That was number one. Number two thing you said, wait them out.
Wait them out.
People eventually show you who they are.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are.
Right. And so before we make any type of commitment to anybody, we should see them in 4 seasons of their life.
All
I
right.
need to see you when you angry. I need to see you when you broke.
Oh, yes. Oh, here, let me find. Okay, yeah, yeah. Because people act different when they ain't got no money.
Listen.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. They'll leave you when you ain't got no money. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yep. I need to see you when you sad. How do you show up when your heart is broken? How do you show up when you disappointed? And I need to see you when you are in service to other people. How you treat the wait staff. How you treat servers. How you treat people on the street that are without. Because that shows me a glimpse of your humanity, your compassion. That takes time, though, for all of that, right? We need to give people time to take off their church shoes.
Girl, wait a minute. Where is the emoji
So,
for that one?
take your socks off. I need to see your heels. Like, I need to see.
Where is the emoji for that one?
In the 4 seasons, I'm writing that. I'm writing
Yes.
this out. I'm putting this in my pocket because I'm always talking to people. I'm saying, what I need to do here,
Yep.
I got right here.
Yep.
All right. Ooh, I love that. Now, can I tell you the third thing you said? Okay, you said, find out as much as you can about what makes a healthy and safe relationship.
We got to start teaching, right? Because it's difficult to create something that you've never been taught. And it's even more difficult to create something you've never seen. And so for those that are desiring a relationship, again, legitimate need, identify a healthy relationship. Be mentored by them. Whether it's a podcast, a book, because sometimes people we can't touch. But we have to identify what we want and then go and then ask yourself, here's a therapy question. What do I deserve? So for those of us that are looking to be in relationships, before you even start, what do I deserve? Write it down. Be for real about it. And now you have an additional rubric to compare this person to. Are they this? Because I deserve that. Are they this? And if it's no, or if it's superficial, you can weed them out. It becomes easier to walk away from something that's not what you deserve.
I hope you took notes, and I hope everybody that's listening took notes. And while you're looking, waiting, watching, pay attention to what it feels like on the inside. You know, because when they walk by a homeless person and they with disgust and disdain, I need you to pay attention to what that feels like when you see them look down and in disdain at somebody who we don't know their circumstances. But what we should know is we are all one bad decision away. We don't know when the storm's going to come and knock everything down and we end up and we need. So pay attention to what it feels like. Pay attention when they're saying, what's taking this clown so long, blah, blah, blah. Pay attention to what that feels like and what it feels like when you're with them, what it feels like. Okay? And you know, even though they bring in flowers, sometimes at the end of that handoff, there is something that doesn't feel right. And then Malcolm said something that made me want to holler. Remember to pray.
Absolutely.
And listen, and then obey. Pray, listen, and obey.
Absolutely.
I want to add another thing that I took notes. Seriously, see, I'm serious about this stuff. The next thing you said was take a hard look at yourself and examine what stuff and issues that you are bringing to the relationship.
Yeah.
Is that still good?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's just about, it is two people, right? It's a partnership, right? And you have to look at and I have to say, my son's not here. I talk to my son a lot about his. He is really good about that. Mm-hmm. He looks at himself first. He's like, well, you know, I mean, I got my own stuff, right? You know, I love when he says that because he's not pointing the finger necessarily out there. Let me see, let me check myself, you know. So I like that. Take a hard look at yourself and examine what issues that you are bringing to relationships, because wounded people are going to bring their stuff to the.
Absolutely. And generally wounded people draw wounded people.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for love. We're looking for a relationship. We're not looking for social work. We're not social working. We're not building bears. We're not dating potential. Come to me fully potential, please.
Ooh,
this is how I talk to my daughters.
Amen. Girl.
Listen, we're not doing that. If the relationship feels like work, when it should be in the first fun stages, like you said, if I got to do all this now, what?
You really
it's not
gonna be working.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm an 8 to 5. I'm a 9 to 5. It's 7. Listen. And on the Friday night, no.
Literally. Does that person need a partner or a therapist?
Yes. And I'm off duty.
That's real.
Yeah, a lot of times our
That's
compassion will lead us to stay in there because we can see the best in them and all of that stuff. I can see it from across the street. I don't need to see.
I'm around the corner, girl. I'm like, no.
A partner or a therapist.
They need a partner or a therapist.
And that's
because by nature, caring people, and it's not just a woman. Caring people are going to have you got a sense of that. Yeah. And we're going to reach out and try to care and support and help. And the next thing you know, cross that line. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Alternate your hand. Go ahead, huh?
I also think the hardest part about it, especially being a caring person, is knowing when to leave. Like you said, don't date potential. In my last relationship, I saw like so much potential. So I think what took me so long to end the relationship, it was like I was praying and I was doing everything. I was just like, every relationship has their hardships and XYZ. I think the hardest part is like knowing that some things you can't just get over, or some arguments were meant to be the end of it. I think the hardest part is, at least for a lot of people, I'm not even just saying me, is like looking over those red flags, seeing that like it may not always be, for example, it may not always be like something like small that you can get over, or some things are a product of their environment, so their mind of thinking and stuff like that. I think it's more of a knowing what is what and what you can deal with.
Thank you.
Very well said.
Let me tell y'all something about boundaries. It starts with you. You have to have boundaries for yourself. If you don't respect your own boundaries, nobody else will.
Yep.
And that's the biggest thing that I've learned in my experience with being a victim of domestic violence and a survivor of it. The same way that I got into it was just as fast as I got out of it. And my dad was my saving grace. He is my saving grace, and he was my saving grace. And he was the very person that I isolated myself from. And I think that's so ironic, because it's like, your family is going to ride for you. If nobody else will, your family will, right? And the very person that can see right through you and know from just looking at you, you don't have to say a word. They know the moment they put eyes on you that something's wrong. And I'll never forget just me asking my dad to come and visit me. Initially, he wasn't, because he can't fly and stuff. He has a lot of health ailments, but something, and I say something, but it's God, told him, no, I need to get on that plane. I need to go check on my daughter. And I'm so glad he did, because if he didn't, I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't know where I would be today. Would I have ever woken up, from this crazy love bombing cycle that I was in, that I didn't even recognize until I was literally ripped away from it. Like I had to be ripped away. That's how dramatic it was. And it all goes back to me somehow losing my boundaries and thinking that they don't matter. So I think it's amazing to just kind of highlight what exactly are you looking for in relationships? Yes, but what is it doing for you? Are you bored, or are you like looking for a project? Because for me, I'm avoidant. So maybe I didn't want to look at what I was lacking in myself. Maybe I wanted to focus on what was lacking in others, because that's kind of in a way my gift. I like helping people, of course, but that was not where I was supposed to be. That's not what I was called to do. You know what I mean? And yes, it was a season in my life. Yes, it was a learning experience. But let me tell you something about ignoring your boundaries. It costs you a lot. It costs you a lot.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing, just for anybody listening, if you are a parent, I'm a parent now, I'm a mother of a 5-year-old boy, and I love my parents, raised me to the best of their ability. But something that I look for in myself now that I'm a parent is being there no matter what I think about my child's decision. Because I'm going to tell you, my parents never approved of that situation. They hated it. But I think to myself, even if you hate it, it feels a little less like I can't go to you if you even like suppress that and still show up. Still, even if you gotta fake it till you make it, let your child know that you're still there for them. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying my parents weren't, but it's just, it feels different, right? To know that, okay, my parents have made it known they don't really like this person, but they're trying, they're trying. And it makes it easier to have those conversations of, oh, yeah, so this is what just happened and this don't feel right. but I'm gonna go to you and I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm not gonna isolate myself from you anymore because I don't feel that, rigid effect of, oh, if I tell you this, it's gonna be all over. Like type of feeling. I'm not sure if I'm articulating that properly, but
Well,
that's something as a mother I'm trying to, be mindful of.
Kimber did the same thing. She didn't want to tell her parents to know. She felt she had disappointed them, and they gonna love. Obviously, Gus and Odessa love Kimber.
Baby, we will snatch you out of there in a heartbeat.
I'm gonna when you said know your boundaries, I'm gonna add a couple things to this because I know thinking of Kimber, I put know your worth and know your value, and I know Kimber felt that I ain't pretty like everybody. I mean, she did not know her worth. I mean, she's just it's an amazing person who thinks there's something wrong with her, right? There's nothing wrong with you, Kimber, but and she didn't know her own value. And that's the new word I've thrown. There's somebody that values you. You heard me say this, Dr. Sabrina. It's not gonna hit you.
That's right.
Everybody that values you as a person. I mean, that's just an oxymoron. The two don't fit. If you can maybe you even love them, but to me, you don't value them, right? Love's a feeling. Value is something else.
They won't degrade you either.
They will not degrade you. That is correct. Yeah, yeah, and maybe we have some steps in a prescription here that we can give to people because we've come up with this. Just like we had your live and free prescription that we teach you. I don't do the relationships, but I got something now that I can talk to people. Look, slow down. Hey man, you better slow down, brother. No, no, do not rush into that. And I will say this because this happened to my youngest daughter, and her husband. They went to couples counseling. And it was the best thing for them.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. I wish I had gone to couples counseling 45 years ago, 50 years ago, but that was a whole nother story. Okay. I even know if they did couples counseling then. But they got to, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here, they got to do that in counseling, and for years counseling was such a bad word in our community, but it was the best thing for them. And they do check-ins now. And they've been married, 3 years? They got too many kids. They got their kids driving them, but yeah, I think, I would advise folks when you get serious, and to me, if the person don't look, and it's nothing I heard, and I don't need no counselor. I don't want to go. No. Okay. All right. Look, we didn't try everything else. I don't care. I don't need no counseling. Bye. That's EGGGGOOOOOO. Oh, yes. And we got a prescription, a prevention prescription. That's wonderful. Okay, what do you
I
got?
especially loved the know them through the seasons.
Yes.
You need to see them through the seasons.
However long it takes.
However long it
However long it takes, because you're worth it. You're worth it. I just want to add, if someone is listening today and experiencing abuse, help is available. I don't want to leave here without saying that.
Tell them where to find you.
The National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24 hours a day. They get 20,000 calls a day.
Ooh, wow.
A day, right? So the number is 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE. Or there's a hotline, there's a website. It's thehotline.org. THEHOTLINE.org. No one deserves to live in fear, and support is available.
If they want to find you, is that possible too? No.
If you want to find me, I'm like, no. No.
Okay.
I am on platforms and stuff, but I'm old, y'all. I don't really know how to use Facebook. You can find me at Dr. Sabrina Robertson, LCSW, If you message me, I promise you, I'll message you back.
Did she say she was old?
Lady Estelle, I turned 50.
Oh, girl.
They know. That ain't
No.
Congratulations, baby.
They,
I
only
know
y'all
that
saying no. The young people like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
auntie.
no, I know what that feels like. Congratulations. I know that it is a milestone. You know what happens? You just keep on living, and pretty soon you'll say,
That's all I'm waiting for
Lady
that.
Estelle, you know how old I am? I'm gonna tell you, baby, I don't care how old you are, because I was older than that a long time ago. Let me just say, just keep on living
Amen.
and doing the
will.
work that you're doing, because it is amazing. Malcolm, Atene, Jada, it's so wonderful to see you and hear you and know that you have made it through and beyond the experiences that were designed to empower you, to build you, to create you. And Atene, using and holding on to the gifts that you were given, even though they didn't feel good back then. Baby, they came in handy when it was time, and you remember to use them. So here you are, and believe me, we are so very proud of you. Dr. Marshall, congratulations, because even though you don't do relationships, you were good at getting prescriptions, and now that you have one, hallelujah. Because
Might be the love doctor.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know about that either.
But to help with some guidance, which is what young people need.
And
That's what
folks need this stuff because they never learned it in the first place. And they keep trying to do stuff wrong. They keep doing stuff wrong.
Yeah.
So everybody gonna get this.
Well, it's about so many other things. It's about trust. Because if you trusted what your dad was saying and looked to see if what he was saying was really true before you took that other step, it's about trust. It's about boundaries. It's about remembering. It's about value, knowing your value, knowing your worth. It's about slowing down and paying attention. It's about trust, because the right one, the one that was created for you, will find you. You ain't even got to look. You just got to be still and do what's good and right. Pray, listen,
Let her
and
introduce.
obey. He's
Let
all.
Dr. Sabrina introduce the one that she found, that they found for each other. We gotta do that. We gotta remember, healthy relationship. Can we celebrate? Can we celebrate?
Absolutely.
Can you go ahead?
So
Yeah.
my husband is here with me.
Come on,
Robert Green. We got married August 15th, 2025.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
The honeymoon.
Yes.
Let's give my
Yes.
hand.
Yes. So to Lady Estelle's point, and to all of the young people there that are praying for and desiring a relationship, keep praying. And remember, trusting God also means trusting his timing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say to Mr. Green, how wonderful that you are here with her. Because I'm going to tell you what I've seen is competition. God blessed you with an amazing woman, lifting her up, supporting her in her work, her gift, her call is who God has called you to be and do, to lift her up so that she turns right around and lifts you up, and y'all both do the work that God has prepared for you. It's all right to be there and to support her. That's the gift.
Yeah, and he's good
That
at
is
it.
the gift, to show us what it looks like, what it sounds like. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for showing, letting them know.
That's my best friend. Yeah, that's what you said.
All right.
All right, we got to get out of here, boy.
Oh, what time is it?
We are over time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lady, that's all right. That's all right. We need it every second. Now,
Thank you, Jada, for showing up. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks,
And for
Dr.
telling y'all
Jada.
story. Thank
y'all.
you.
Dr. Barger, love my babies.
Us.
Good night. Be
This is the
safe.
best one of all. This is the best one of all because I think
Because you got a prescription.
we going forward now. We gonna lay this on everybody. And look, and how many downloads did we have in last in China? 400.
All right.
China gonna see this. Yeah, it's quarter. Somebody
We are
in Jamaica worldwide.
Amen.
So, and I'm gonna send you a copy of the show, and y'all gonna be all over the world helping people with their relationships. All you gotta do is listen to y'all. So
Well, it was just so important for our young people to be so open and vulnerable. We didn't ask you to come on tonight to share all of that. And so it was really just about, to learn and discuss, but to know that this is really going on and going on with people that we know, I thought was really important. And I just really value you sharing that with us tonight.
the more you
Yeah.
know, the more you know,
Yep.
the more you owe.
We
Right?
love you.
That's
Thank
how
you,
we
babe.
Love-
Okay. Bye, y'all. Get up in the morning and get back to